Join me as we enter week 3 of the Souls of Saraku. Hello and welcome back to Souls of Saraku. Sorry about the audio last week. I don't know what happened there. Hopefully this week will be fixed. Should be. I will make sure of that. So a little bit of a recap here. We met a new character here, Kargoth, and our commander was dying. He gave us a satchel that we have to run to the castle with. We also did a battle earlier in the week. We did pretty well on that. And then we tried to intimidate some people. That did not go so well. You know, when you try to act tough, sometimes and people laugh at you. Yeah, that's definitely what happened to us. It's happened to me once or twice in my lifetime. So with that, we're gonna start and go into the week 3. So Moon's Day, deep winter. The battlefield is a storm of smoke, debris, and carnage. The castle gates loom ahead, but dozens of enemies stand between you and your goal. You have no time to fight every foe. You must weave through the battlefield, cutting down those who stand in your way. And there is a little pouch here, so we're going to pickpocket, just like any good RPG player. You will always stop and you will always loot everything, no matter what. No matter if you're in a hurry, you're going to get that. Even if you have your backpack full, your character's over encumbered, you are going to get that chest. So we're going to get a blight root here. And I'm one of those RPG players that will have 10,000 things and then I won't use it and then the game will be over and I go, oh, I guess I should have used all that stuff. All right, with that, we will go to navigate the chaos. Roll a d20 plus constitution. You run and dodge through the chaos of the battle. You must make this roll 3 times before reaching the gate. And our constitution is a +1. So we got a 10, we got an 11. So if your result is between 8 and 14, a dwarven soldier steps into your path, having a great axe with grim determination. There's no way around him. The fight is unavoidable. So we're going to go to a little rule reminder here. We're going to use our attack roll. If it exceeds or meets the enemy's defense, you hit, otherwise you miss. If you hit and damage equals the health, the enemy dies. If it does not die, it attacks you. Then you have to roll your defense. And if your defense is higher than his attack, you'll do partial damage, which will be the right number. And then if you defeat the enemy, you'll gain a gold. So we have a +1 to our attack. So we have an 18, 19. So we do enough to get past his defense. Now we're gonna roll for damage. So we get a D10 for damage. We get a 7. So a 7 is over his health. So that means we get 1 gold because we took him down. We slayed him. So now we're at 4 gold. Okay, now we have to do it again 3 times. That was the first time. So we're going to roll. We got a 16 plus 17 for our constitution. So if the result is 15 or more, as you charge forward, a goblin stumbles in your priority, moments away from being cut down. You have a split second to intervene and strike the attacker before the killing blow lands. So we have to roll a d20 plus strength. This is our strong suit here. We have 3. So 12 plus 3 is 15. If the result is 11 or more, you slam into the enemy's soldier, sending him crashing into the goblin's awaiting blade. The goblin looks at you in awe before falling in line behind you. Gain 1 minion. Okay, so we have 2 minions now. And we have to do this roll one more time, and then we're at the gate. So 11 plus my constitution is 12, and we're in for another battle. So we're going to have to battle the dwarven soldier again. So we're going to roll our attack die here. We get a +1 to our attack. So we got to get a 10 or a 9 at least. We got a 19. Okay, so we do hit him. So now we're going to roll our D6. Or D10 and hope to get higher than a 3. Nope, we got a 1. So that was a complete whiff. All right, so now we're going to roll our defense. We have +3, so D20 plus 3. We have 19. And so that's well over the attack power. And then we get the reduced damage, which is 0. So he missed us too. And with that, that is the end of day number 1. So we're going to go into Tuesday, or Truce Day. I love this, how they have this. Deep Winter 13th. Before you can reach the castle, you witness a squad of fierce goblins getting cut down by a barrage of arrows. Lyredale Moonstride, the elf ranger, and one of his famed heroes of the light leap into the air and unleash a wave of destructive arrows upon your allies. So I don't think there's anything here. Unfortunately, we cannot pickpocket them. So, 1, avoid the barrage of arrows. So roll a d20 plus defense. We have 3 defense. So a 2, so we get a 5. With an effortless leap, Larendelle soars above the battlefield, her bowstrings singing as a storm of radiant arrows rain down upon you. So it's less, our result was less than 10, so barbed shafts tear through the air, sinking into you like fangs. Reduce your health by 1. Okay, so we go to 8 health. Getting beat up pretty good. Dodge her Sylvan Tempest. Roll a d20 plus dexterity. My dexterity is a -1. Not very nimble. Wow. Okay, so we got a boon here. So if you get a 20, we get a boon, and a boon lets you add a d4 to any other roll. You can only have 1 boon. And boon or 20s are wins, automatic wins. 1s are automatic negative or automatic losses. So if the result is 11 or more, you move swiftly, stepping aside as the arrows strike the ground where you stood moments before. Then we go to number 3 here. Fight the hero. Larendel's feet barely touch the ground before another volley is loosed, each arrow streaking towards you like falling stars of righteous fury. Okay, so we got attack here. We got to get over a 13. We only have attack. We get a +1 on the attack here. So this will be tough here. So a 7 +1. So we did not. So now we're gonna go with our defense. We get a +3 on our defense. We got to get higher than a 14 here. So we get 9 plus 3 is 12. So we're gonna take 2 damage. Ooh. Down to 6. And the next one we got to get higher than a 14. I wonder if we use our boon. Nah, we're not going to use our boon. So we get a +1 here. So we get 12, 13. We definitely should have used it because we needed higher than a 12. So now we get defense. Now I'm half tempted to use our boon on the defense. Yeah, I'm going to use the boon on the defense. Because I really don't want to get hit for 2. Wow. 24. So I used the boon. We're going to get the boon back. We are still going to take 1 damage, though. We'll go down to 5. Might want to use our health potion. Then we have to flee from the hero. Roll a d20 plus constitution. So we get a +1. Oh, automatic fail. Okay. The power and skill, or your power and skill are outmatched by this hero. Your only chance is to flee to the castle gates. So if it's 10 or less, you turn and sprint towards the castle gates. But Lirith is relentless. With piercing aim, she lets loose 1 final arrow at your back as you flee. Reduce your health by 1. I mean, that's kind of what we get for running away. That's where the most casualties are taken on the battlefield anyways. If your health was 0, we'll have to see the death rolls, but it was not. We are going to see, though. Let's see what our potions are. We probably should have used one. Could add for a roll, attack roll. We do have a health potion. So I'm thinking we're going to actually use our health potion here. So we get to roll a d4. And we get to gain that much health. And of course, we get a 1. I hate D4s. So one measly health. Should have used a boon on that, which I don't even know if you're allowed to. Don't see why not, but so we're gonna go into Wednesday, Deep Winter 14. The castle gate stands tall before you, the last barrier between you, the hero army, and those inside. Siege weapons rumble in the distance, and the clatter of armored boots grow louder. The are closing in. If you fail to lock the gates, the battle will be lost before it begins. All right, we're just getting run through here. Should have had better defenses, being so evil. The goblins stationed here are panicking. The gate is heavy, and the lock mechanism is stubborn, all while the heroes rush to stop you. Command the goblins. Roll d20 plus charisma. And we get intimidating, which adds 2 to all our intimidating rolls. Or, yeah, add 2 to all our threatening and intimidating. So we're going to roll. Our charisma is -1. So let's see. We get 11. -1 is 10. Plus the 2 is 12. The goblins look to you for direction, but they are cowardly, chaotic, and distracted by looting corpses. They need a strong leader to fall in line. That's pretty funny. So if your note rate is 1 or lower, you take a -2 penalty, which it is. Okay, so that stinks. So we had a 12. Now it's down to 2. Or now it's down to 10. So if the result is between 6 and 10, they are too scared or distracted, forcing you to do most of the work alone. So nothing happens. Okay, so that's not a terrible roll there. Okay, so shut the gate. Roll a d20 plus your strength. Locksmith. We don't have that locksmith, so we do have 3 strength. So, all right, another 20. Wow, 20 is all over the place. We already have a boon, so we can't do nothing with it. The massive wooden gates are still open. If they are not closed in time, the heroes will break through. The weight is immense, and it will take all your strength to move them. So our result is more than 11. The gate shuts just in time, blocking the advancing heroes. And then we have to do the third one, engage the lock. Roll d20 plus dexterity. So I think we're going to use our boon, because our dexterity is -1. So we get a 12 plus 3 for 15 minus the 1. So we have 14. And oh, we're 1 away. The gate lock mechanism is intrusive and stubborn, requiring steady hands to secure it before the siege weapons fire again. So unfortunately, we had a 14. So if your roll is between 8 and 14, the locking mechanism resists, rusted and uncooperative. With effort, it finally clicks into place. But its frailty leaves you uncertain how long it will hold. All right, looks like we got some new characters now. And I don't know if we're supposed to transfer. I don't think we're supposed to transfer our stats over. I don't know how that would work with our health. So I'm going to assume that we don't transfer stats over. I have no clue. Zephyrfine, Moorgrave. You know what? We're actually just going to pull this up here. This will be easier. Chains do not have to be made of iron. Some are forged in obedience, in servitude, in the illusion of control. I was born in chains. I will not remain in them. Zephyrfine Moorgrave never liked being told what to do. As a child, she learned that obedience was just another form of a cage, and she had no invention of staying locked inside. Words were her weapon. Before she ever held a blade, she could twist doubt into certainty, or others follow her will without them ever realizing they had ever done so. That talent earned her a place in the dungeons. Here, she honed her skills, breaking people with whispers instead of steel, fear as her tool. She learned patience, persuasion, and how to make people beg to serve. Yet, for all her power, she was still beneath someone. Then came the bite. It was supposed to be a gift, but she sees it for what it truly is. She grows stronger, faster, and her words carry a weight that bends minds. But it is not enough. She has further to go before she is complete. She is still not free. For now, she plays along, she listens and learns, and she waits for her moment. One day, she will own the night. One day, she will fly. And then, when she does, there will be no one left to tell her what to do. Okay, so looks like she was turned into a vampire. She's a hellborn blood drinker. Hmm, okay. So this must be our first new character. Oh man, look at this guy. He's pretty funny. I want to play this guy just because he's a rat. Grimrot, Slink Tail. Yeah, I'm just gonna read it off of here. That's my only complaint with this. Is some of this stuff is so small. It's so hard to read. But I get it. They don't want it to be huge. Look at this guy. So Grimrot. Okay. The world tosses aside what it does not value. I gather and build. I thrive where others see rot. I see strength. Grimlock's brought born was born into the gutters, where the weak are ignored and the filth is left to fester. He learned early that survival was not about strength, but about knowing where to hide, when to strike, and how to turn nothing into something. While others looked down on him, he watched, he listened, and he waited. He found worth in what others threw away. Scraps of food became feast, broken weapons found new edges, and when he was left to rot, and he embraced it. The sewers, the alleys, the forgotten places of the world, these were his kingdom, and in it that filth, he found something more. A power lurked in the decay, a magic that slithered through the vines like a slow poison. He learned to command it, to twist toxins into weapons that strike from the shadows, feminists, plagues, and filth-born curses. He touched His touch is a slow death, creeping and unseen, but survival is not enough. Hiding is not enough. He is tired of being ignored, tired of being cast aside like trash. One day they will see him. One day they will admire him. The name Grimrot, Ratborn, will not be whispered in disgust. It will be spoken in fear and respect. So I'm not gonna lie, I like his backstory the best so far. Um, yeah, I like his story the best. That's funny. So I'm guessing we're gonna get to pick another character here because we're in the dungeons. So I definitely think we're gonna go with this Ratborn guy here or this Grimrot, just because I like his backstory. I like the underdogs and stuff. So our hit points are 10, and that's why I don't know where our notoriety. And I'm gonna have to look that up because I don't understand how we're switching through these characters, so I don't know at the end when we pick a character if we'll just get their stats that they have. So I don't even know if we have any gold right now. So let's look at his abilities here. He has danger sense, add 2 to all rolls to avoid traps and surprise hazards. Surges, you have one surge that can be used to activate surge abilities, regain them. Okay, so we only have one surge for the time being. And Scam Stepper use one surge to add a D4 to a single defense roll, or Toxic Feign use one surge add a D4 to a single damage roll. Okay, so we only have one surge, so let's just do let's just say surges. We just have one. This way we know. Pretty sure this is Thorn's Day. Yep. Thorns Day, Deep Winter 15. Can we pickpocket this guy? Yes, we can. Of course we can. You can always pickpocket people. So we're going to steal some gold here. So 2. Sorry about that, guy. The air in the dungeon of the Dark Citadel is thick with the stench of damp stone, old blood, and despair. You are in the midst of your work, in exercise in pain and precision. The victim before you, stripped of dignity and hope, twitches on at your touch. Then a sound cuts through the dungeon, a thunder of war drums. This clash of steel. The gates of the castle are under siege. Okay, so we must be trying to get it. We must be getting let out of prison, maybe to go fight or something. Dim torchlights flicker against the iron bars of the cramped cells, casting jagged shadows over withering forms of prisoners. Screams and groans echo down the corridors, though whether they are from true agony or broken minds lost in the darkness is unclear. The dungeon keeper storms into the chamber. His voice, like grinding stone, barks a command. Enough! The battle is upon us. Leave the filth and find the overlord or the high mage. We will break our enemies, or will we be broken? Before obeying, you can take one final action, something that may aid you in the coming battle. Well, we already stole from him. So, let's see here. Extract information from the prisoner. Roll a d20 plus charisma. Reminder, persuasion. Okay, so we don't have persuasion. So unfortunately, our charisma is -3. So we get 6. So we get a 3 here. So this prisoner may know something about the invading army. If your result is 7 or less, the prisoner only laughs, bloody lip curling into a mocking smile. You gain nothing but irritation. Okay. We fail to intimidate people for some reason. Take a trophy. Take a trophy. Roll d20 plus intellect. So our intellect is 0. So we get a 12. If the result is between 8 and 14, you grab a vial of dragon fire. Potent stuff. Oh, well, yeah, sorry. We should probably read this first. Among the instruments of pain and restraints, there may be something useful. So we got a 12. You grab a vial of dragon fire. Potent stuff that is sure to hurt the intruders. Gain 1 dragon fire. So just put 1 dragon fire. And our last one is release a prisoner as a distraction. Roll d20 plus dexterity. Remember danger sense. So let's roll d20 plus dexterity. We have 1 to our dexterity. Plus we get a +2. So we get an 8, 9, 10, 11. Chaos can be a tool. A free prisoner running through the castle might slow down the enemy. So we got an 11 here. It fits between 8 and 11. The prisoner is grateful for your mercy and decides to follow you and obey your commands. Gain 1 minion. Okay? So we get 1 minion here. That's it for that day. We got Fruit Friday. We got Fruits Day, Deep Winter 16. The castle burns. Its once imposing halls are now a battlefield of screams, clashing steel, and acidic stench of death. Enemies swarm the corridors, cutting down your horses. While desperate, allies rally where they can. Okay? It says beginning at the X, which is here. Navigate around the map. Visit each lettered area along your path, exploring and resolving each area you visit before choosing the next. So we are here. Let's see if there's anything we can steal. Doubt it. We see some paths this way. which we know he's good at avoiding paths. So we're going to go into A. So we have Area A. A small group, dungeon entrance, a small group of allied goblins have been cornered by warriors. Fear glint in their eyes as they prepare for what seems to be their final stand. If they lose their nerve, the castle defenses may crumble faster. So, option A, deliver an inspiring speech to rally the goblins with words or vengeance survival of loyalty. So, we know we're not good with that. So, let's go option B, avoid the skirmish. Yeah, we're going to avoid it. I mean, we're a rat. I mean, what are we going to do? So, avoid the skirmish entirely and focus on your mission. Flee and let them die. Roll d20, dexterity, and remember danger sense. So danger sense gives us a +2 to our roll. So we have dexterity at +1. So we're going to roll d20. So 13 +1 and then +2. So we have 14, 15, 16. If the result is 11 or more, you slip away unnoticed, avoiding damage or delay. Gain a +1 bonus to all remaining non-combat rolls on this page. Yeah, I mean, what do you expect from us? We're a rat. So the question is do we go? Should we see what's in here? Let's. Should we fall down here to D? We could just try to make a short end and get out of here super fast. But I feel like we're not gonna do that. We are actually just gonna we're gonna go to D. We're gonna go like this down to D. We're gonna avoid B. Yeah, so we're gonna go down like this, go to D. Let's see what D has in store for us. The Armory. You find a side chamber that was once stocked with armor and weapons, though it has been raided and used by the orcs and the goblins of the castle. There might be something useful here. Roll a d20 plus intellect. So intellect, we have nothing, so we're just gonna d20 here. Okay, a 2. 7 or less. You only find some gold that the goblins must have dropped in their hurry to grab a weapon. Gain 2 gold. Okay. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'll take 2 gold. Why their pen stopped working there? All right, and so with that, we're going to definitely go down the C because we know we have our ability here. So let's try to go down this way to get out of here. So C, booby-trapped hallway. The invading army siege weapons have collapsed the main path under some rubble. You have to take an alternate path that you know will be trapped. It was meant to trick invaders who had no knowledge of the layout. Instead, you will need to be careful. Roll d20 plus dexterity. So we know we have 1 to the dexterity. We have 14. So plus 1 is 15. So if your result is 10 or more, you identify the hidden trigger mechanism, allowing you to avoid the primary dangers of this area. Okay, so now we're going to go to F. Area, the castle kitchen. Fire rages as flame oil spills across the stone floors in the kitchen. Cooks and servants flee. Knives, boiling pots, rolling barrels, and fire turn this room into a lethal battlefield. Can you improvise and use these weapons? So roll d20. Remember deep sense. So we get a +2 to this. So we're going to roll a d20. We have no bonus for intellect, but we do get a +2. So we get a 9, 10, 11. If your result is 9 or more, you slide across the slick floor and knock into a pot of oil into a fire. It engulfs the enemy in a painful death. Gain 1 notoriety. Nice. And we'll then go to E, which looks like the stairways to get out. Okay, so E, stairs. You make it to a spiral staircase. to move upward. You may stop here to continue or exit the dungeon. Okay, we're just gonna leave. Yeah, we're out of here. We're not sticking around. What the heck will we stick around for? Stars Day and Sunday. Deep Winter, 17th and 18th. Look at this mad guy. The castle trembles as roots tear through the stone floor, twisting into grasping limbs. Dunrin, Mossbeard, legendary hero of the light, stands in the center of the devastation, his staff alight with verdant power. With each step, vines lash out, impaling undead, crushing goblins, and reducing dark magic to ash. His glowing eyes scan the battlefield until they find you. Wow, he looks pretty bad. He looks like a bad dude, not gonna lie. I do like his art. And I love the name Mossbeard. I love a good beard. So let's see here. 1. Strike to create an opening. Roll a d20 plus attack. So we get +3 on our attack here. So d20. We have a 5. So that wasn't good. You lash out with a quick strike, aiming not to kill, but to stagger. If your result is 7 or less, your attack glances off his bark-like armor. The vines lash out in retaliation. Reduce your health by 1. He only starts with 10 health, too. So we're down to 9. We might want to look at using that dragon fire. Withstand his assault. Roll d20 plus defense. We have 3 defense. So 18 plus 3. So enough. You brace yourself to hold against the storm of vines. So it's 8 or more. You absorb the attack and use the moment to retreat from his next attack. Rip through the vines. d20 plus strength. We have -1 to our strength. So 6. So we only get a 5. Vines coil around your legs and arms, tightening to drag you down. So I have less than a 7. The vines tighten painfully, forcing you to struggle free. Reduce your health by 1. All right, down to 8. He's not a fighter, not at least up front. Evade the onslaught. Roll d20 plus dexterity. And we get a +1. So we get 6. +1 is 7. You time his attack in to roll, jump, and flip out of reach. If the result is 7 or less, which it is, unfortunately, you move too slow, getting caught and thrown into a pile of debris. Reduce your health by 1. Okay, down to 7. And we do have to remember our surges over here. Endure the magic. Dunrin unleashes a pulse of druidic energy, causing plants to lash out wildly. So I get a d20 plus constitution. I do get +2 to constitution. So we get a 19 +2. So we're going to pass this. If your result is 8 or more, you grit your teeth and power through, ignoring the pain as you force your way out. 6 here. Misdirect and confuse him. Roll d20 plus wisdom. We get +1 wisdom. So we get an 8. So if your result is 8 or more, yeah, so misdirect and confuse him. So wisdom, you bluff to trick him and distract his attention away from your next move. So if your result is 8 or more, Dunran is momentarily distracted, turning to face a different threat. So we're at number 7 here. Find a weakness. Roll a d20 plus intellect. We have no intellect here, bonus. So we get a 2. You analyze the vine's terrain in Dunran's attack pattern, looking for an escape route. Well, we obviously didn't analyze too well there, so it's less than a 7. You miscalculate, leading yourself into a worse position. Reduce your health by 1. That's an understatement. Down to 6. Getting close to death here. And Number 8, divert his focus elsewhere. D20 plus charisma. So we get a -3 to this. Oh, wow. Oh, got to try to keep it on this here. A 12, so that's only a 9. Okay, that's good though. You call you call out to him, throwing him off with a witty deception. So we did have 12 minus 3 is 9. So it's 8 or more. Dunran hesitates, allowing a skeleton to momentarily engage him while you flee. The druid gets distracted by another attack, giving you time to escape. Yeah, that was not going so well there. So with that, we could roll for a lottery because you're allowed to do that on the Sunday lottery. It's not going to be on there. We were going to take part in it because we didn't do it last week. So we're just going to roll a d6. And a 2, this is why I don't ever do it, because the first time we did it, the same thing happened. We're going to lose a gold. So just like in real life, you don't ever win on the lottery. Probably should have used one of our surges here, but it's okay. And with that, we're going to leave it at that. So I'm really liking this so far. I'm not going to lie. It's definitely been pretty fun. So hopefully next week we don't get crushed by this guy, because it's not looking like we did too well this week. And then after this week, I know we're supposed to be picking a character, and I assume that's going to make it a little bit faster so we don't have to go through like the backstories and stuff like that. But with that being said, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.